Okay.
Cool.
I think we're live now.
Yes. We are live.
So this is Facebook Live. This is Twitch. We're probably going to be talking to both or around all of them.
Somehow.
Well, not only that, like half our podcast, we end up just facing each other and talking.
Yeah, I know.
So I think long term we'll do a setup where we can face each other and talk, so it's a little bit more natural. But at the same time, we have enough camera angles to be actually recording the whole thing. So Hugh's going to be following on Twitch. I'm going to be looking at our Facebook feed for comments. But welcome to our weekly podcast, All the Fitness. I'm your host, Rob, Coach Rob, owner extraordinaire. And then there's Hugh. Athlete extraordinaire, entrepreneur extraordinaire. We're just extraordinary people. I think
extraordinary.
That's what it is. So with each podcast, we're going to go over what's going on this week at the gym, what's going on with the workouts. We're going to talk about predictions with the CrossFit Open coming up 2 weeks out. I think 10 days, 2 weeks. And then finally, we're always about kind of teaching you guys something. If you're at home, if you don't live in Orange County and you're struggling with nutrition, fitness, consistency, accountability, all that good stuff, that's why you should tune into this podcast. Make sense? Awesome. So that being said, how you doing?
Doing well. Really sore from this morning.
I get to hang out with you
tired.
Once a week on Fridays, so I'm appreciative of our time. So why are we so sore? What'd you do today?
We had an insane workout. It was.
Can you explain? Go into details.
So, I think Dean said it was a qualifier workout.
Okay.
For
another
CrossFit. Yeah.
Okay.
I think for the Open, or I forget exactly, but either way, it was just insane. It was 21, 15, 9, 6, 3 of handstand push-ups, front squats, a very heavy front squat, and bar-facing burpees.
Now you're just typical front squat, but a very heavy.
It was a heavy front squat. You were supposed to be
a little heavier than you've done before, too, right?
Yeah, it was definitely heavier than I've done before.
And what was the outcome of that workout? Were you on the floor?
I was my usual fetal position on the floor afterwards.
It's okay. It's called the rest position.
Yeah.
It's probably the most efficient rest position that you could do, is laying on the floor. But yeah, 21, 18, 16, 14, 12, 9, a bunch of volume, right? So there's a lot of handstand push-ups, there's a lot of front squats, a lot of burpees. So I think, it's a volume game, right? That's a lot of movements in a short amount of time. There is a loaded component, a weightlifting component. There's a body weight component, a.k.a. gymnastics with the burpees and the handstand push-ups. But no, like, cardio, right? Jump roping, running. But cardio...
I mean, it was in there.
Yeah, well, the thing is,
felt like it.
You can get the response for cardio without doing the traditional run, bike, swim, right?
Yeah.
So the example I always give people when they ask, like, oh, I need more cardio, but you guys don't do enough or this and that, I'm like, okay, do one squat, right?
Yep.
No loads, no weight, no nothing. Then in 1 minute, do as many of those as you can.
Yeah.
And 99.9% of the time, everyone looks like this. It's like, well, does that kind of feel like you ran?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay, so we're still getting some aerobic response or cardio response.
Oh, wow.
A little playback reverb.
Playback.
Nice.
Sorry.
But, so there's different ways to get the same response, right?
Yep.
And what you're looking to do as far as scaling is you're looking for a response. So pick the movements or the volume of movements, the duration or load, so you get that. So today, the goal was, I'm going to be uncomfortable for a little bit. How long did it take you?
I think 30 minutes. A little under 30 minutes.
Yeah, so it's supposed to
me.
be a long workout, right? So that being said, on those long workouts, when you're resting, you should be resting because slightly uncomfortable movements for like sets, right? Maybe sets of 5. You need to break it up. You're going to get muscle fatigue too. Gymnastics type movements, right? Handstand push-ups, burpees, you're going to get a little muscle fatigue. Any kind of pushing too. So push-ups, you get muscle fatigue. So there's a point in time where you're kind of shaking out your arms, you need to get to that breath. And then the front squats. Like the front squats, your legs are going to get pumped, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to need to take a break. So that's the stimulus. Now, how do we pass that up is if you finish a workout with that much volume in like 12 minutes, either the weight was incorrect, like it's way too light, right? Or you're just a beast, right? One or the other. And if it takes like 45 minutes or 50 minutes, and if you're doing like single front squats.
Well, I think the time limit was 30 minutes.
Exactly. Right? So that's another thing, is having a time limit.
Having a max.
But if you are going at a pace that it would take like an hour, then the skills, the load, and the movements are probably too difficult for where you're at. So, working with a good coach like Coach Dean, you should be able to scale appropriately for that. So what did you scale for your handstand push-ups?
The handstand push-ups, I changed to ring push-ups.
Awesome. Still, that stimulation of balance, still harder than a regular push-up. Did you find yourself having to break those up as well?
I did,
yeah.
Eventually. I mean, yeah, I broke them all up just so I could maintain breathing.
Gotcha. And that should be kind of the key rule on just general fitness, as far as group fitness classes, or if you can't control your breath, it's hard to control high skill movements like the snatch.
Yeah.
Right? If I'm breathing hard, not happening.
Yeah.
And you saw that last week or earlier this week, right, with the 135.
Yeah.
And then secondly, if you're breathing hard, besides the high skill movement, you are not going to be able to do any type of batching or volume. Like if I'm breathing hard, I'm doing 1 burpee.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not doing 10.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So one of the things you'll hear all the time is if you can control your breath, you can control the movement. And that's really something that's going to dictate your pacing. Right?
Yep.
Man, I feel really smart talking about all this. So yeah, that was the workout today. I'm going to get a little a sample of that this afternoon, which I'm actually looking forward to. And the open always brings everyone back to consistency, right? So now that we're about 2 weeks away, 10 days away, this is your second open. Let's talk about predictions. Let's talk about movements. And actually, let's be more specific. So we know it's going to be movements that you can do in your garage, right? It can't be like run a marathon. And the reason being is nobody can time you.
No, it's too long.
Qualify you. Well, not only that, I finished it in 3 hours. We can't really tell that. So it needs to be something that you can capture in video. So for the open workouts, you need to videotape yourself if you're not a CrossFit affiliate, right? That's how we can judge movement standards and actually get a qualified time for you. So, AKA, it needs to be a confined space. So what do we know? We know box jumps maybe, push-ups for sure, handstand push-ups, deadlifting, weightlifting stuff, anything that's kind of within that.
Yeah.
But Castro, Mr. Dave Castro, always throws a curveball when it comes to time domain or skill movement. What I mean by that is we've seen advanced stuff that he used to hold for regionals, like that next level, and he's incorporated in the open. So for instance, handstand walks came in a couple years ago.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And everyone's like, wow, I can do that in my garage, but I never thought about doing that.
Yeah.
Right? We had the dumbbell overhead carries and stuff like that. So what do you think is going to be that outlier, that movement that we haven't seen in the open that he's going to bring in? Right? We've seen muscle ups, that's kind of high skill. We've seen snatches or any kind of component of the open, let's say, that you think is going to put people out. So 2 years ago, it was not having a cap. Or 3 years ago, right? That was a mind, everyone thought 10 to 12 minutes, where as soon as he released hey, you need to finish the workout, everyone's like, oh my goodness, that's different. So what do you think is different about this year's open?
It's hard for me to say because I've only done one before. So
okay.
I'm not sure. I mean, I'll be interested if they reuse some old open stuff like they did last year.
So there is that, right? They redo an old open traditionally, right?
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of years ago. I'd be interested if they did a benchmark. They haven't done a benchmark for years, right? But in the first couple opens, that was one of the staples. Like you did Fran or you did Helen or something like that. So I'm looking forward to a revamped, or we get a hybrid, like last year's second workout with 2 years ago's third workout, and we make a hybrid of that. Well, I think we're going to see that open time limit again. Another thing I'd be interested in seeing is now without regionals, right? You have to win the open to get to the games. But for 99.9% of us,
it was a regional workout.
Yeah, there you go. We're not looking to make the games. So the fact that it needs to be fun for the 99 percentile, right? Because the cream of the crop's going to make it to the games in the open. I really see that we're going to see challenging workouts, but less difficulty. I think we're going to wait until a little bit later because we don't need a tight funnel anymore, right? We're not funneling people to get to the games per se, but I'd love to see handstand walks in it. I'd love to see more single arm dumbbell work, right? Be it power snatches. We haven't really seen kettlebells incorporated outside of swings, so that'd be kind of interesting. Not like Turkish get-ups, but kettlebell snatches, maybe kettlebell clean and press. What else would be interesting?
Long distance carry?
Yeah, so carries, stuff like that.
I haven't seen that. That would be interesting. It's a little bit of a larger movement, though.
Yeah, but you can
Would
still
you want to keep.
You can
close
still
up?
do it, or like we haven't seen any static isometric holds. Like imagine like overhead holds,
Yeah.
right, for a certain duration. Although not as bells and whistles as sexy as most CrossFit movements, but it is testing something.
It's a lot. I mean, when you're holding something for
Oh, for sure. You're gonna get the
period of time, definitely.
You're gonna get the butterflies, the pull-ups, muscle-ups. I'm just trying to think. Oh, maybe it'd be cool to see more couplets on movements. What I mean by that is like 3 toes to bars into 3 pull-ups into 1 muscle-up.
That'd be interesting.
Right, and it has to be unbroken.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I think that's kind of it'd be interesting to see a play on that. But yeah, man, the open is always fun. Of course, you're gonna see heavier. I mean, it's always gonna be
Yeah,
heavier.
it's going to be heavier, definitely.
But yeah, that's my guess. Is you're gonna see like coupling movements unbroken as a rule. Like the workout might be 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 wall balls, but they have to be unbroken.
Yeah.
Right, something like that. So that's my prediction for the open.
Or maybe what if they just did a wall ball workout? Just going to do that?
Karen just doing like, I don't know, years ago, and this was like probably 5 years ago, they had a workout where it's like 150 walls was the buy-in, and that's a benchmark, Karen. Then you had like 200 double unders, and then you had like 10 muscle-ups, and then that wasn't as many rounds as possible. Now most people didn't even get past the wall balls.
That's like,
because I think it was,
can you get
I think it was a 10-minute time cap. It was a 10-minute time cap, right?
That actually would be pretty good because,
So.
I mean, just seeing people get like they made it that difficult and they set that time cap.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be.
So I think that's another thing, seeing a lot of volume, shorter time caps,
Yeah.
right? Where you have to kind of get through some stuff to get into it. I'd love to also see kind of like the triple couplet or the chipper version. We haven't seen a chipper in a while where it's like 15 movements, 30, 30, 30, 30,
Oh,
30,
right,
30,
yeah.
and there's a time cap, or 5 minutes of A and B. Next 5 minutes is of A, B, and C. Next 5 minutes of A, B, C, D.
And see how many reps you get out of
Yeah, so we've done them a couple of years ago where it was like, you know, the first round you're doing 2 rounds of 5 pull-ups, 5 snatches for 2 rounds. And then you do 8 pull-ups, 8 snatches for 2 rounds. And then you keep playing until you can't fulfill that ladder.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So I see that happening. But yeah, the open's always fun.
I'm excited. I'm ready to see how I do this year, so I'm just excited to
I
see
think you'll be surprised.
year 2 how I do.
Well, first off, speaking for someone who had a year 2, you'll PR, personal record, right? So that
Yeah.
lift heavier, go faster than ever before because it is your year 2. I mean, once you start getting a little bit more veteran and exposure to the open, you're just looking to finish the open,
Continue.
right?
Get it done.
Get it done. And I think you get smart with age, like in life in general, where like I'm not going to do 14 attempts at workout 1.
Oh,
I'm gonna
yeah,
do like
absolutely.
1.
I think I'm still gonna do one attempt,
I think
unless
you
I
know what?
really
Unless-
absolutely didn't like
Well,
it.
unless you finish it and you know there's something you can distinctly change that correlates to a much more improved performance.
Yeah.
What you don't want to do is like guess at it and get one more rep and be like, I put it in all that. Or worse, guess at it and get worse score.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Because the game,
Definitely don't want to do that.
yeah, because the game is 5 weeks. The game isn't 1 week. So I've seen athletes in the past do like 4 attempts and then blow themselves out of water for the
those
second
reps.
workout.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then
that's not the
they're so tired. They have high volume fatigue and maybe high volume injury because they did 300 handstand push-ups,
Yeah,
right? They attempted it 3 times. So the name of the game is like, hey, know what you're good at, know how to game the workouts, know your strengths, and have a plan. Don't go into the workout 3-2-1 and just hammer it.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, I'm really good at wall balls. I know the front squats are going to be my weakness. So you know what? I'm going to do larger chunks of the wall balls. I'm going to do an interval for the front squats. So I'm only going to do 5, and I'm going to drop it. Even if I feel fresh,
Yeah.
I'm going to drop it. And by doing that, not only will you get a better score, and we've seen that. A good example is this. For many beginners and intermediates, you get the burpee, right? Which is a push-up and a jumping jack in one movement. And when you see it on videos, people drop to the ground, pop up to their legs, jump and clap.
Yeah.
But in the open, there's volume, there's different movements, and we've tested this, whereas if I step down, step up, and jump, it's plus or minus 1 rep. But I'm not fatigued, and I'm not gassed for the next movement. Same thing with box jumps. Right? You see people jump up, jump down, jump up, jump down. We've tested this where we have our intermediate athletes jump up, step down, and they finish better scores because they're not overly fatigued. Exactly. So it's about
I'm
knowing.
7 now.
I'm 7 now, too. Like, you just need to know what you're good at, your strengths, and then gain your weaknesses so that they don't stop you from a good performance.
Yeah.
And that's all we're looking for is a good performance. You're not looking to make the games, right? Sorry to break it to you guys. The winner of the Open makes it to the games, not the top 10%, right, or 15%. So the rest of us should just be having fun. It should be an excuse to hang out with family members, grab a beer, right, have some food afterwards. We do Friday night fights.
Yeah, you compete.
Exactly. Throw down and celebrate the PRs. That's what the Open really is for us. It's celebrating inching out one more rep. It's celebrating putting one more pound on that bar, right? It's celebrating showing up more consistently during the week because you want that second attempt at it, right? So stay focused in the Open this year. Stay safe, right? Really stay safe. It's weird to feel like we're being...
I know, it's like the two at the same time.
Exactly.
It's different.
It is very different. And then, last but not least, like, have fun, right? CrossFit has done a great job of exposing people to fitness being fun versus the monotony of earbuds, treadmill, back and buys. If that's your thing, awesome. It was me for a decade. But I need it to be fun. Because if it's fun, I'll do it again. Right? If it's not fun, I won't. And so that's where having a coach, programming, having a community, feeling like you socially belong to a tribe makes workouts fun. And then if workouts are fun, you get all the accolades of losing weight, getting bigger, getting stronger, right? Stuff like that. So, next
my favorite part of the workout is the end. It's the best feeling in the world. Just lay on the floor and stare at the ceiling when you're so tired.
I agree with you. The best part of any workout is A, when you're done, or B, when the coach calls, time, put your weights down. Right? So you're forced to finish.
To the ground.
But it's in a pool of success.
Exactly.
Right?
No. With your heart like balls to the wall.
The steam coming off your face of progress. And looking around and knowing that you're amongst others that are doing the exact same thing. Right? They're on their singular journey, but we're in this wild comet together doing it, right?
Exactly.
So, we went over the workout today. We went over our predictions. I don't know what you guys are predicting for the CrossFit Open. If you're in the hemisphere of the CrossFit Open, I'd love comment below whenever you watch this podcast or this feed. I want to know what kind of outliers you see coming. Is Castro going to have us do it outside in the rain? Are we going to need to drink a protein shake during the handstand push-ups upside down? I want to know what you guys think. That's how I consume it.
That's how I work.
Actually, it goes straight to your brain much faster because that's anatomy. But I want to know
weight transfer though.
the weight
protein drink into you.
It assimilates and then it gets absorbed straight to the brain. But I want to know what you guys think with the Open. What movements? Is there a movement that you think we haven't seen yet that we're going to see in the Open, or a couplet, or a compound of two movements?
I think there will be deadlifts. I think
that's a good call. I think they're going to be deadlifts, but like
pretty sure they'll be deadlifts.
Like it'd be interesting if it was like 3 deadlifts and 3 power cleans and 3 push-ups, you know, TT-ish type action. But comment, let us know what you think of the Open. The last thing I want to talk about, and Hugh's going to chime in on this, is consistency at home. Right? Every podcast, every time we go live, I want to be teaching you guys stuff, not just giving you guys information, but application. Right? That's why people come here, is because they need help with accountability and application. So consistency is king, right? With anything you do, be it as a business owner, a parent, staying on your nutrition, your fitness, it's about being consistent with your training. So it's been raining a lot in Orange County over the last 3 weeks, so we've seen a huge drop in consistency as far as showing up. But consistency can be done at home as well, right? I know Hugh's got a complex condo gym. Most of us will have some version of a garage gym. You don't need any equipment. You can be doing this in your apartment, in your home, in the living room, in the garage, but consistency, right? So the big topic that I always hear about is like, hey, I'm not motivated. Unfortunately, motivation comes and goes, right? Motivation is great for our kids, but as adults, we need discipline, right? Yeah. Discipline is setting a schedule, sticking to that schedule. And that's how you're going to get consistency at home is no matter what, you need to work out. And the way I do it, and I'd love for you to chime in how you be consistent, is I have my morning routine. I get work done that I need to get done to kind of move the business forward, move my life forward. And as a reward, I get to exercise.
Yeah.
So because I love the feeling of the after exercise effect, I get the work done so that I get the reward of the exercise, right?
Yeah.
So that's one thing for consistency. Or it's on my schedule. Like, hey, by 9 a.m., I need to sweat. Either run, do something in the garage, right? 10 minutes of burpees, whatever it is. It doesn't need to be pretty. It needs to be done, right? And that little small domino effect will build over time, whereas then you start missing it. Like, man, I really need to work out today. Or I need to move today. I haven't worked out. And so it's about building good habits. And the way we do that is through discipline and structure, right? So what's your version? How do you stay consistent with your workouts? Be it in here or outside of here?
So consistency for me is like you were talking about with like routine. Mm-hmm. So every morning we have our routine. We go to bed early.
Nice.
And we get up early to do our workouts. Because we like doing, the other part of it that makes it easy for me to be consistent is doing it so early in the morning. I feel like I accomplished something right off the bat at the beginning of the day.
That you're successful at.
And it gives me a lot of energy for the day.
Mm-hmm.
So that helps me keep the consistency because I do 3 times a week.
Yep.
And on those off days, I also love that because it gives me the rest.
Mm-hmm.
I can wake up, relax a little bit, eat my food and get to work. But on the days that I have CrossFit, I wake up, we go to CrossFit, we do our workout, we come back, have our food, and then get into work. So it's the regimen of making sure that each, you're consistent on everything.
And I love the fact that it's part of your morning routine, your morning schedule. And for the hundreds, if not thousands of clients over the last decade that I've worked with, one of the big struggles is, I don't have enough time in my day because when I get home, I'm with my kids. After work, I just want to go home. Well, show up in the morning.
Yeah,
right?
Show up in the morning.
The hardest part about that is building a habit. Most people don't want to when they start workout in the morning.
Yeah.
But when you see the benefits of already checking it off the box, right? The amount of energy you have the rest of the day, and the big play of being consistent, it's worth it, right? So when you work out in the morning as well, not only having that win, is it kind of has a trickle effect, right? The rest of the day. It's like you're not worried about getting into the gym. You're not worried about that, what I call kind of is the college effect, where like I miss one econ class and it turns into 3, and then it turns into re-auditing the course in the quarter. So put it in your schedule, show up. Another thing I hear about too is like, hey, I work out way better in the afternoon. But you're not consistent in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Everyone has more energy in the afternoon because you're awake.
Yeah.
Obviously, okay. But if you're looking for lifelong change, if you're looking for habits, right? If you're looking to lose the weight, get stronger, you don't need to want to work out. You need to just show up.
Just show up and do it.
Just show up and do it. It doesn't need to be a stellar performance, right? You don't need a PR. You need to be consistent, right? Through consistency, that's when the personal records come. Through consistency, that's where you start cleaning up your nutrition. Why? Because I'm waking up and I'm working out. I want to eat better. I'm not going to put all this time working out and not eat better, right? And then that starts to trickle in like, hey, I'm working out, I have more clarity, I'm eating better, my social interactions with coworkers and my social group is better, right? And then they start asking questions like, why are you so happy, Hugh? Right? They ask you the question, why are you so happy? Why aren't you frustrated with the rest of us? It's because I got my routine. I've done the work. I'm consistent, and because I'm consistent, I'm now consistent with everything else I do in life. And being consistent actually gives your subconscious a rest. Right? That whole chaos of not knowing, like the whole Steve Jobs thing, right? Same shirt every day makes it simple. Less willpower battery you need to use. Look it up. We have a finite
you need to do. Exactly. Think about anytime that you have to think about what you're gonna do.
Oh yeah.
It eats up so much. It's like design versus process, like just factory floor. It's very different.
The creative aspect of it versus the structure of the process. And so we have a finite willpower battery every day. And so that's why it's been researched and it's said most of your creative decision-making work is done way better in the morning because you have a full battery, right? So if you can create processes and habits and consistency in your life that doesn't use that battery, as in, I literally, and if you guys have watched all the podcasts, I wear the same thing every single day, right? Every single day. I drink the same breakfast protein shake every single day because I need my willpower to help clients, right? When they have questions, I can't be at 3:30 p.m. Hey Rob, I've hit a plateau. Let's goal set. Just show up. Right? That's not going to work, right? So I've created processes and habits where I use less willpower so that when I need to be creative, as in the morning when I'm doing creative work, as in copy or content, and then in the afternoon when I'm working one-on-one with clients, I want to be attentive, right? That takes willpower, that takes a battery, that's decision making. So by creating a morning routine where you're always doing the workout early, where you don't need to think about it, right? And that's a little plug. Like I'm working on systems. I told Hugh we're revamping, doing a case study next month as far as how we run class. And I want to get to a point where the coaches get to save their willpower to help correct, make better, and change versus running the class. And I want to create systems for the patrons, clients, or team members where they can come in and they're on a track for success, so they're not overthinking that as well, right? Because we want to make decisions. And I know for me, I've been in plenty of classes, be it CrossFit or other classes, where if I'm overthinking, I don't enjoy my time and the progress is slower. Right? Where did I put on the right weight today? I went too fast, it was too long, right? So I'm trying to automate all that so we guarantee results in class, right? So you can guarantee better results in your life if you have structure, habits, and consistency in your morning. And that starts with exercise, right? Your brain warms up too, right? I know you probably know. There's probably a difference in creativity and productivity, right? The amount of good work you do after you work out on those days versus the days you don't.
Absolutely.
Right? There's probably a little bit more focus. You probably get a little bit more done after a workout.
Absolutely.
Right? So
the only other thing I wanted to add too is you kind of touched on it, is when like people say that they don't feel they get as good of a workout sometimes. That's not a bad thing either. Like that's part of like listening to your body too. Like do you really need to put 50 extra pounds on that bar? Maybe not. Like if you're feeling a little fatigued, there's nothing wrong with stepping back a little bit. Don't feel like you have to be 110% every time you come in.
And let me step back and preference what I said, because that is 100% true. You should always be scaling. The excuse, right, or the challenge that I hear is like, hey, Rob, I get better workouts in the afternoon, as in I'm happy and I feel better, right? And I get better results. The truth of the matter is, some people do, right? They just work out better in the afternoon. But you can get great results in the morning as well. I don't want you to be like, well, my testosterone levels peak at noon. Yeah, there's some truth to that. But if you're only working out once a week, because of consistency issues, right? Because of habits, I'd rather see you 4 days a week in the morning and put in the time, punch the clock, and get a consistent change than because of habits and lifestyle, like, I'm not happy with my results, but I do better in the afternoons. Okay, well, how many times are you working out in the afternoon? Maybe once. Okay, why? Just because of my schedule. Well, then let's work out in the morning. But I'm not into it. Well, guess what? Have you ever been to a 4:30, 5:30 a.m. class?
Come in.
It's the
like
zombie
class, doing things.
Right?
Yeah, we're just picking up things, putting them down.
But there's a correlate, right?
Yeah,
if you look at the people who come in the mornings, I guarantee you they're slightly, if not more, successful with their day. Right? They have habits.
I feel like it.
No, he is, right? They have habits and they're consistent with everything else that they do. So it's part of that routine of how do I create more in my life? How do I be more productive? It starts with the morning. And that starts with exercise, eating well, sleeping well, right? But for the ones who push off the activity in the morning, push off the creativity, there's always a fall-off point, right? There's been plenty of days where I'm just going to skip out. I'm not going to work out because I missed it in the morning. Or, you know what, I'm trying to create copy or creating content, and it's just coming out as right? And it's because I've used up that willpower, that decision-making battery, and I noticed a huge change. It's like, you know what? Go to bed early, because I love the way I feel the next day when I do something in the morning. I love the productivity of the next day because I do something in the morning. So you know what? I'll cut an extra hour of Netflix out. I'm fine with that because the next day is so much more fun, right? So I guess that's the big kind of talk today as far as consistency is. It starts with your morning, right? It really does. Getting your workout in the morning. And if you're not part of our gym, you have a condo gym or not, like get up and go for a walk. Go for a jog. Get outside. It's too cold.
Getting anything in.
Layer up and go do it, right? Do 100 jumping jacks in your living room. Do 2 to 3 minutes of activity. It doesn't need to be a lot. Start with that. Be consistent with that, and then build over time. That 2 minutes turns into 5 minutes. Turns into 10 minutes. Starts into 20, 30 minutes. You love running all of a sudden. You start looking for programs outside yourself. That snowball effect, right? That's what we're looking for, okay?
Also, that little workout, too, You'd be amazed. Like, yeah, it's cold in the morning, but like when I've noticed this all throughout as it's gotten colder, is like just the little like warm up beforehand.
Shoot.
I'm like pulling
your layers are off.
The long sleeve off, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how much you kind of wake up as you do those things.
Even just getting out of bed.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, oh, it's so cold.
It's so
but
cold.
as soon as you put those 3 layers of sweats on and you kind of jog down the stairs, like, I'm good to go.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So the thing about consistency, and this is the secret nugget, right? This is my secret nugget. If you've watched all 30 minutes of our podcast, is the biggest change personally in my life when it came to consistency of activity, productivity and work, everything, is you need to take emotions out of an activity or a habit that's going to create positive change in your life.
Yeah.
Right? I don't feel like getting out of bed. I don't feel like going to the gym. I don't feel like that protein shake. Nobody does. Right? But your results, where you want to be in your life, should not be tied in to the day-to-day emotional feeling of it. Right? It's the discipline of just doing it. Once you achieve your ideal body or you sell your game for X amount, then have all the feels and emotions, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's taking that emotion out. And I know it's tough. It just takes that grind. Get up and go, get up and go, get up and go. And then eventually you'll notice that, that emotion of feeling like it was actually holding me back from success.
Yeah.
Right? That's the nugget. Thank you guys so much for chiming in on Twitch, on Facebook, every Friday. And I'm really pushing for a daily thing. It may not be at this time, but yeah, today is with Hugh. Thank you, Hugh. I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone who's going to watch this. And I hope it brought a little bit more value to your life. If you have any questions, reach out to us. We are here to guide and help.
Yeah.
If you have any questions about game programming, check out Hugh on Twitch. Hugh DM.
Yeah, Twitch/HughDM.
If you're on Facebook, be on Twitch. Follow Huey /Huey DM.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Twitch/HughDM.
There you go. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. All you guys out there, get working out. We got to think of like an outro.
I know, some sort of outro, like, keep doing the fitness or something.
Keep doing the fitness, guys.
Keep doing the fitness.
Perfect.